This is my quest to find 5 shiny Pokemon at the park. I decided to do this for a few reasons. The first one, to practice confidently being my authentic self, especially in public, and progress with shaking this ingrained self-consciousness I feel, part of that being around playing Pokemon games. The second reason, to further let go of this clinging to playing video games in a clean environment, clean often having an arbitrary definition for me. And the last reason I'm doing this, to do something fun where I combine 2 of my passions, exploring the outdoors and gaming. There doesn't have to be this strict boundary between the two. I hesitated though due to my fear of it taking away from my enjoyment of nature, taking me out of the present moment. But then I realized I can just try it and see how I feel. Let's begin the challenge. First day I brought my chargers with me on the walk for my phone and 2DS. I found a bench and began shiny hunting. I decided to go with Route 114, doing horde encounters. I thought it'd be a nice chill hunt to do while I get the hang of hunting outside, because I can make progress with it quickly and it doesn't require a ton of input. I saw quite a few red-winged blackbirds, one of my favorites, and I did a solid 103 horde encounters, so 515 Pokemon seen. It was a lot of fun. I'm proud of myself for getting outside my comfort zone and playing video games in nature again. I'm working through that self-consciousness I feel when I do that. Next time though, I'll wear different shoes. I had a random encounter with a puddle. The next day, it was extremely windy. Luckily, it didn't rain while I was at the park. And then I encountered a tree that looked like a Pokemon used cut on, but it didn't clear the path entirely. By Pokemon logic, this path would be blocked, but luckily I could just go right under the remaining tree. It's hard to film encounters with all the glare, but I did my best. And I saw a lot more blackbirds on this day. I found myself getting a little tripped up later in the day, feeling like I wanted a camera with better zoom, so I could get better close-ups of the birds. I was honestly tempted to scrap the video entirely because of that, but then I recognized it as a perfectionist thing. And I've really been going through those blocks recently, so I decided I'm going to release the video anyway. I almost called it a day at 971 encounters, but then I realized I want to get to 1,000, so I stopped by another park. It made me super uncomfortable. There were some pretty busy intersections nearby, so I was worried that people might see me playing the game. But I made it through. The next day I brought my hand clicker counter thing to make it easier to keep track of the encounters. You might have noticed I'm hunting on Route 113 now. I changed it up while I was at the first park of the day yesterday. I just think it's so cool to think about how rare and unique a given shiny Spinda is. I would definitely be psyched on a shiny Skarmory too. Day 4. There were a few cars at the park when I got there, and I found it really hard to do many encounters while walking during the first part of this walk. So I eventually found this secluded bench and did a significant number of the encounters for the day while sitting there. I was feeling more confident doing some while walking on the way back. The cool thing about this challenge is that even if at the end of the day I don't have a new shiny, I've freed myself further from these irrational fears. Day 5, I went for a walk soon after it stormed. It's one of my favorite times to be in nature. I find it peaceful and cleansing. Everything feels so alive with the wildlife being so vocal. I decided to change things up and hunt in Fiery Path. Grimer would be a brand new shiny for me, and Slugma and Numel would be reclaims. I'd be psyched to get any of these three. Day 6, I tried to film some of the encounters live, but there was way too much glare. Later on, I found a log to sit on and did the bulk of the encounters there. I definitely repeatedly checked to see if anyone was coming down the trail from either side. And I finished off the encounters for the day under this kind of picnic shelter. Day 7, I actually decided to hunt in Pokemon X instead, as a way of letting go of a mental block I had, where I felt like I needed to keep hunting in Alpha Sapphire until I found a shiny for this quest. But it was chilly and windy, and I only ended up doing 35. On day number 8, I decided to switch things up again. I couldn't resist the pun there. I felt it was time to let go even more and do something that made me pretty uncomfortable, playing my Switch outside. Since I bought it brand new, I found myself being more particular about it than the consoles I bought used, like playing in clean conditions. I also felt it was time to let go of this clinging to keeping this Let's Go Pikachu file to myself. Maybe it's from being on the introverted side, but there are times where I feel inclined to not talk about things I'm working on, like a project or even a video game file, or a project in a video game like the Pokédex. Now, I had told a few friends about my Let's Go Pikachu file, but felt resistance at the thought of creating a video with footage from it. It just felt like the time to get past this, though. Partly to free my mind further, and also because community is an important part of hobbies for me, like gaming. I felt drawn to doing a hunt in Kanto. The first Pokemon game I had was Blue version back in 1998 when it was released in the US. I decided to hunt in Seafoam Islands. I'd love to reclaim Shiny Dugong by finding that or Seal and evolving it. I found a Dugong in Fire Red 3 years ago with a kind of false start I had with returning to gaming and shiny hunting. It'd be awesome to find anything else here too, besides a bat. Sorry, Zubat and Golbat. We'll see what shiny shows up. On this day, I challenged myself further by shiny hunting in a spot where cars driving past could possibly see me. There's a road up there. And there's a bird right there. So I took the next 2 days off because it was cold and rainy. And when I returned, I did have some luck. You'll see in a little bit. Let me show some nature clips first. Oh my god. That's a shiny slowpoke. That's a shiny slowpoke. No way. Oh, what? What? There it is. Wow. Now let's encounter this because I'm a little nervous. No way. I can't believe that just happened. I just freaking failed it. I was worried it would despawn, I just didn't. Oh my god. I didn't think it would happen that fast. That's disheartening. Wow. Alright, well, we're gonna keep going. I wanted some change of scenery in the game after that experience, so I decided to hunt in a few different places and eventually settled on Route 23. Any shiny from the Nidoran male line would be amazing. A Chansey would be incredible, but I only saw one the whole day. So yeah, I did manage to see approximately 500 Pokemon since the Slowpoke, so as devastating as it was to lose that, I'm charging ahead with even more determination than before. My goal is at least 500 each day until I obtain a shiny. While this park is beautiful, it was hard for me to relax with the highway sounds. Not exactly the sounds of nature. I couldn't find a bench, so I made do with this log. I was definitely triggered by what smelled like a bonfire. Some illogical thought patterns I conditioned over the years were coming up, where I was worried about it affecting the way I played the game, and I was concerned about it getting on the Switch. But I sat with the discomfort. I have some work to do with that. I did make a lot of progress on the hunt though, and I did a little bit more hunting, 10 more Pokemon, on a picnic table at the entrance to the park. Which was definitely outside my comfort zone since it's pretty likely that cars driving past noticed me sitting there. Day 13, I started to repeat parks for this challenge, because I realized the priorities are personal growth and fun. It was weighing on me a bit having to come up with a new park to go to each day. As much as I loved the variety, I knew there were other ways I could challenge myself, like going to the park early, which is what I did on this day, which for me was a little bit after 9 a.m. And plus I did go to at least one different park each day until I found a shiny. I didn't obtain it, but yeah. Yes! Are you serious? Are you serious? Oh my god, I failed a second shiny Slowpoke. I went... No. No. These insects must have had the swarm ability because I encountered bees, ants, flies, spiders, you name it. So I eventually moved to a different bench. Yes! What? Oh no. I gotta get right into battle with this. Yes! Hey, I found something though. I encountered it, okay. Oh. What do I catch it in? Go with the Premier Ball. Wow. Please. I caught it, yes. On this day, despite how self-conscious I felt, I decided to do some dual hunting. And an Arcanine and Snorlax spawned at the same time in Go, which I thought was awesome. Then it looked like it was going to rain, so I did some encounters while walking back to the car. This next day I returned to the first park I went to for this challenge, and I noticed some personal growth since I started. This bench was closer to the road than the other one I hunted on, but I was pretty much able to let go of caring what people driving past might think. Shiny spinned up. What? That's incredible. That really took me by surprise, as if you couldn't tell by my reaction. Day 22, I started hunting in Leaf Green and Icefall Cave. Any shiny there would be awesome. I went on a 2+ mile hike that day and really enjoyed it. I'm proud of myself for gaming while hiking, even if I did put the SP down when I passed people. Then I saw what looked like an albino squirrel. It mainly was white with a little brown. I thought it was cool I found this rare wildlife while looking for a rare Pokemon. So the second park I went to today, I didn't play Pokemon Go at all and I didn't do any shiny hunting. I just felt like the combination of those two and filming clips for the video, I was finding it really hard to be present and enjoy nature. So this walk, I just filmed a few clips, didn't do any gaming, and I noticed I was much more present than any walk I had done recently. It felt great to lean into appreciating the beauty around me. By Pokemon logic, I couldn't cross this path, but yeah. So, day 35, I decided to change up what I was hunting. Instead of going for the same target each day and filming such similar nature clips, I felt like that represented just being stuck in a rut in a variety of areas of my life, and I'm ready to change things. He's laughing, but I haven't found the shiny yet. For the longest time, I thought that was an owl. It's a mourning dove. Day 36, I changed things up yet again, doing some triple encountering in 4th gen. The top of Mount Coronet in Pearl, Route 230 in Diamond, and Route 44 in Heart Gold. I definitely put away most of the councils briefly when people walked past, but it's still a huge win to play 3 of them for a decent amount of time at a public park. The next day I continued the triple 4th gen encounters, and I took it as a good sign that the first encounter in Diamond was a Corsola that was swarming, and the first encounter in Heart Gold was Entei. There was definitely more rain than predicted by the weather app. Then I decided to hunt on Route 110 in Ruby version, then Route 112, and I eventually committed to Fiery Path. That was definitely triggering because there's no way for me to clean this off right now. I don't have anything with me. Back-to-back 2% Grimer. Really productive session, 300 encounters per game, so 900 total. Oh my god. Shiny unknown. What? What? Yo, what? I noticed it right as it was almost finished scrolling across the screen. Oh my god. A Ruby, Fiery Path. I did want to save in that. Oh well. And Diamond, Route 230. Wow. I'm going to carefully catch this. definitely gotta save. Man, I was so nervous after those two failed slow pokes. I was like, I gotta get this. Man. Now I'm going to talk about stats, obstacles, and closing thoughts on this challenge. Start to finish, this took 2 months, working on it almost daily, 52 days. I visited parks 59 times, 16 different ones. I saw approximately 17,237 Pokemon. So across 59 parks, that's about 292 per park. Across 52 days, that's approximately 331 per day. In terms of 1 in 4096 odds, I saw around 6,881 Pokemon, finding shinies at these numbers. And for 1 in 8192 odds, I saw about 10,356. And this last shiny was barely over odds, so I'm happy with that. Oh, and for the 4 1 in 4096 shinies, the average was 1 every 1,720 Pokemon, which is wild, under half odds. And I learned to be a lot more careful hunting on Let's Go Pikachu Eevee and instantly encounter any shinies I find. Also, here's a highlight of cool birds I heard during this challenge. Shout out to the Merlin app for helping me identify many of the birds I encountered. Not sponsored, I just find their app really useful, especially the sound ID feature. And of course I gotta show the shiny squirrel again. And now some obstacles I encountered. So when I was hunting on benches, I was often slumped over to see whether or not the Pokemon were shiny. It did not feel great, and I'm gonna focus more on improving my posture now. It was a little bit better while hiking, but of course it was less efficient shiny hunting wise because I was just playing one console. Another thing that came up was worrying about filming the encounters live. But I believe there's a lot more to a shiny than just that, like the story behind it, the personal value someone attaches to it, etc. At any rate, live filming was difficult with all the glare, and it took me out of the present even more. And even though I didn't live film most of the time, I did find it hard to be present and enjoy things because I was juggling so many different things at once. Shiny hunting, filming clips for the video, playing Pokemon Go, and enjoying nature. Or trying to. I also found myself feeling overpowered by the self-consciousness pretty often. Part of me thought what I was doing was cool and fun, but more so I was eager to just finish the challenge and go back to hunting indoors. Being in nature is my relaxation time, so it'll be awesome to be more present and enjoy that more. I still had fun doing this, of course. It was cool to blend the two different worlds of gaming and nature. I especially thought it was awesome to see a 1 in 8192 shiny appear at the park. I'm proud of myself for getting outside my comfort zone and more confidently being my authentic self, and for shiny hunting in conditions that were pretty triggering at times. They definitely felt imperfect. But it was also freeing to prove to myself that I can play video games outside if I want to. And going back to the self-consciousness thing, people will think what they want, regardless of whether or not I'm authentic, so I might as well just be myself. No one said anything, even though I'm sure there were times when people saw me playing multiple games at once. Now, of course, it can be hard to let go of caring what people think. It's an ongoing process, but I definitely took some strides in the right direction. I'm grateful for the personal growth opportunities this quest brought, and the fun I had exploring nature and searching for and finding shiny Pokemon at the park. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe and have an incredible day.